Are you struggling to make ends meet when you're building your virtual assistant business? Watch this video and learn the simple formula that takes the stress out of pricing your services. For all the advice you need on building a successful virtual assistant business, be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell over there to make sure you're notified every time my video goes live on Tuesday and Thursday. Step number 1, we are going to write down all our personal monthly expenses. Rent, telephone, diapers, groceries, Netflix, Audible, going out, drinking, I don't know, whatever your poison. You got to write it down. You've got to know your numbers, because in order to effectively price your services, if you don't know those numbers, you're not going to be able to do that. Okay, so now you got to write down all your monthly business expenses. Do you have a subscription to Canva or Acuity, or maybe you have Google Suite? Whatever it is, you got to make sure that you know those numbers as well. Okay, step number 3. Add the numbers in number 1 and number 2 together. So step number 4, we are going to now decide how many billable hours per week you want to work. So for instance, let's say you're like, ooh, I just dream of a normal 40-hour work week where I get to have a lunch. So we're looking at 35 hours a week. You need to build in time for growing your business as well as administration work. Those hours that you put into your business will not be billable to clients. So you need to factor that in. So if we're working with 35 hours a week, add an hour every day for admin and growing, if not more. So you're roughly at 30 hours per week billable, unless you want to be crazy and do 80 like I did. Now that we have 30 billable hours, we are going to multiply that by 4. Now, why are we doing this? This is because there are roughly 4 weeks in every month. And the number that we have from step 3 is how much money we need to make per month. Step number 5, we are going to take the numbers that we got in step number 3 and divide it by the number that we got in step number 4. So for the sake of this video, we are going to say that the amount of money that we got in step number 1 was $1,500, and in step number 2, $100. So in step number 3, it would be a total of $1,600. And now we are going to take that $1,600 and divide it by 120 hours. And we are going to get, drum roll please, roughly $1,333 per hour. Step number 6. Remember, we need to add taxes and a profit margin to our hourly rate. So for me, I would charge roughly $20 per hour based on these parameters, at least starting out. There is one thing I need you to know. Just because we are breaking this down per hour does not mean I am recommending that you charge per hour. This number is just for you to play with. So if you're creating packages, if you're bundling services together, just use this as a base number to help you get a good idea of how much money you should be pricing your packages at. Okay, so now that you know how much to charge and price your services, you're gonna wanna make sure that you know exactly what to say when you hop on a call with a potential client. And that's why I have created a wonderful PDF for you, and it's called the 9 Steps to a Successful Virtual Assistant Phone Call or Sales Call. So if you're interested in downloading it, the link is in the description of this video below. All right, guys, that's it for this week's episode. Until next week.